Hey everyone, it's me again, and it's time to talk about mounts, mount bonuses, insignias, and insignia bonuses, and upgrading insignias all at once. So this is something that I know people were concerned about, and so I'm going to do my best to explain everything about this concept, what was changed, and how things work now. So you open up your mounts menu, and you can see that you don't get to read about the powers anymore on this side. So I don't know if that's a bug or if that was intentional because that's the way companions look now, but I don't like it. Starting out with that, I don't like that you can't see your powers right off the bat. But another thing to note is that equip powers only have 100 or 200 item level, depending on if it's purple or legendary, epic or legendary. So that was decreased from 250 and 500. So you get less item level from mount equip powers now. The combat power is still 100 item level, and of course the speed does not give item level because it's default. You always have a speed. Your stable looks pretty much the same. I meant to get a crescent insignia to put in here, but I didn't get to it, so it looks kind of awkward right now. But all of the insignia bonuses, well, I shouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them have been updated in some way. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about the insignias themselves. So insignias give different amounts of item level now. You've got 20 item level for a blue one, 40 item level for a epic one, and it's 80 item level for a legendary one. I don't know what the green one is. I don't think I have any of them in my inventory. Oh, I do. 10 item level for a green one. That makes a lot of sense. I should have just did some mental math there and figured it out. But so you can upgrade insignias in mod 16, but you can only upgrade purple ones. You don't have the option to refine green or blue ones because it says they're already at their max rank. Now that is something that's going to be confusing to a lot of people, but I do think you should be able to upgrade them through a process like enchantments. I also kind of understand why it isn't like that, because it would make it easier for people to upgrade from green to legendary, and legendary insignias are supposed to be like the final thing that you do, one of the final things that you upgrade, because it's going to be pretty expensive for some of them. So let's have a look at this. If we want to upgrade our barbed insignia of skill, it has a 100% chance to upgrade, so you don't need any wards or anything like that. But you need 8 of the green version of it, 4 of the blue version of it, and 1 of the purple version of it. So as you can imagine, just by looking at the cost of brutality and dominance insignias right now on live, you can imagine that upgrading them to legendary is going to be a very long and expensive process, because just getting one of those is a long and expensive process, and you need a whole bunch of them at different variants now. The insignias that are the variants of Vigor and Leeching no longer have any use, and so there is an exchange for them in Protector's Enclave at the Antiquity Scholar. And you can choose based on, they have to be the same rank, but you get an insignia choice pack at the same rank. I don't know what the options are in these boxes to choose from, but I would guess that all of the other different variants are in there, but I don't know about the newer ones or the expensive ones. Because if the expensive ones like Dominance and Brutality and stuff are in here, that's going to really devalue them on the market. Now that we've talked about insignias, let's talk about insignia bonuses. I'm probably going to have to switch characters a lot to be able to see all of the different bonuses, but we will try our best. So first off, we have Artificer's Persuasion. Whenever you use an artifact power, your defense, critical avoidance, deflect, and awareness are increased by 2,500 for 15 seconds. And I will put a link to the current insignia bonuses in the description so that you're able to compare the current and new versions of these bonuses. Next up on our list, we have Slayer's Bloodlust. Whenever you kill a target, you gain 500 critical strike over 5 seconds. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be for 5 seconds, or you actually gain 100 critical strike a second for 5 seconds, and then it goes away, because either way, that seems not very useful. Oppressor's Reprieve. Whenever you are stunned, knocked, or immobilized, you are healed for 5% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. Cavalry's Warning. Whenever you activate a mount combat power, you gain 1,000 to all of your ratings for 10 seconds. Barbarian's Revelry. Whenever you perform a critical strike, you are healed for 2% of your maximum hit points, and this can only occur once every 2 seconds. Now, in the new day and age where healing is necessary and staying alive is a little more difficult, I do think Barbarian's Revelry is going to see some use. And that is actually what I wanted to equip on this one to test it out, and I never got around to putting a Crescent Insignia in there. Now we have Protector's Camaraderie. Whenever your summoned companion attacks, you gain 200% of your armor penetration and defense for 10 seconds. And this can stack up to 5 times. I really think that's supposed to say 2%, because 200% is like 40,000 armor penetration, and it can stack up to 5 times, so that's a lot of armor penetration and defense. So that's definitely not how it's supposed to work. So yeah, and yes, I still have this slotted even though I'm using an augment companion at the moment. I just never updated these. I didn't update my mount insignia bonuses. I haven't even worked on my character to make it actually mod 16 viable yet. I'm just trying to get an overview of everything that's new, get these videos out, and then I will work on actually updating my character and let you guys know how that goes. So Shepherd's Devotion, whenever you use a daily power, your teammates' defense is increased by 1500 and their movement is increased by 10%. Now, Gladiators, whenever your stamina is above 75%, you move 10% faster. When your stamina is below 25%, gain 10% stamina gain. This is something that will be pretty important for tanks, at least in my opinion, because stamina is how you're able to block damage. Survivor's Blessing. Whenever you deflect an attack, you're healed for 1% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. So if you are running a deflect build, or if you're just stacking deflection, that's something that you might want to consider, but in my opinion, it doesn't seem to be that great in terms of surviving. Now, Victim's Preservation. Whenever you take greater than 35% of your maximum hit points in pre-mitigated damage from a single blow, you're healed for 10% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. And it can only occur once every 10 seconds. So basically, if you take a big hit, you're going to be healed. Which is kind of nice. Kind of nice. I think a lot of people are going to gravitate more towards more survivable insignia bonuses, at least for soloing, because it is a little more difficult without lifesteal, without recovery, to stay alive. It's not hard necessarily, but it is a little more difficult. Now, Magistrate's Patience. Whenever you receive damage from a critical strike, you gain 2500 critical avoidance, and up to 4 teammates receive 2500 defense for 5 seconds. This can trigger once every 10 seconds. So basically, if you get critted, you gain critical avoidance, and the rest of your team gets defense. Berserker's Rage. When your action points are over 90% full, you get 2500 critical chance. When your action points are below 10%, gain 2500 deflection. Since action points do take longer to regain, this effect will be active for longer than it would if we were playing in mod 15, but I still don't think it's something that I would use. Now we have something called Knight's Rebuke. Rebuke. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Whenever you receive combat advantage damage from an attack, you're healed for 1% of your maximum hit points over 5 seconds. Combatant's Maneuver. Whenever you control an enemy, you gain 2500 combat advantage damage, 2500% combat advantage damage. I feel like that's not right either. They did say that they were going to be fixing mount powers in the next build, but I don't know if these are included in that, but that is something that's probably not how that's supposed to work. It's probably supposed to be 2.5% or 25%. Probably 25%, I would think. Warlord's Inspiration. Your summoned companion does 20% more damage, and with how powerful companions are now, if you're using an attacking companion, 20% more damage should actually be pretty noticeable. Alchemist Invigoration. Whenever you drink a healing potion, you are granted 2500% more defense. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like 2.5 or 25% more defense, because 2500% more defense, that's a lot of defense. Champion's Return. Whenever you are reduced to 50% hit points, you instantly recover 20% of your stamina and are healed for 20% of your maximum hit points over 10 seconds. And it can only occur once every 60 seconds. This is something that would be good for tanks as well, although the longer cooldown is kind of meh, but instantly regaining stamina and being healed as a tank, especially if your healer is dead, is going to be something important. Assassin's Covenant. I'm sorry that I'm covering this towards the end. I'm just sort of going in order of this list here. You lose 1000 of your defense, deflection, critical avoidance, and awareness, and you gain 1000 accuracy, armor penetration, critical strike, and combat advantage. So you no longer get power from this. You just lose defense and gain offenses. That's still the same concept. Wanderer's Fortune is still the same. You have a chance after killing a foe to find a refining stone. And Traveler's Treasures is also still the same. You have a chance after killing a foe to find rough astral diamonds. So I think I covered all of the bonuses. If I missed any, let me know in the comments and I will tell you what they are now. Let's see, I covered mount item level, insignias, insignia bonuses, upgrading insignias. So since a lot of people were asking, we are going to take a look at the equip powers. Obviously, on this character, I'm not going to be able to tell you very much, but if you had lifesteal on your mounts, it's replaced with critical resist, because invigorating touch is from the Dusk Unicorn, and that was 2000 lifesteal before. Now it's 2000 critical resist. And if you had recovery as your mount's equip power, it is now accuracy. If there was any regeneration on your mount, it was replaced with awareness. This is the Celestial Stag that had 1000 regen and 1000 recovery. Since somebody asked about the action point gain mount equip power, quick action, instead of being 15%, it is now 5%. The Coastal Flail Snail grants 10% of your total action points, so it was nerfed. And a lot of mount powers are dealing, and artifacts are dealing, exorbitant amounts of damage, and that is going to be fixed in the next build. So please disregard any damage that you see here. I don't know, is this 200k damage? I don't know if that's correct or not. This one is 403k, so this is definitely not right. Again, if you have any questions about specific mounts and what their equip powers are, or their combat powers, if they were changed, please ask me in the comments, and I will get back to you and let you know. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to, if you haven't already, subscribe for more Mod 16 information, and check out the schedule in my community tab of my channel. Thanks for being awesome, guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye.